Do good evening. Thank you to the diehards who are here to join us in this first meeting of 2025. And before we start, we're going to have to call to order, but what I would like to do is make a formal recognition. Sandy is not here, but we have a plant here for and a certificate that says, on behalf of Town Council and the Town of Urbanna, thank you for your hard work and dedication to the betterment of Urbanna. And I think it should be publicly acknowledged that she was really instrumental in not only the 4th of July celebration replacement that we had, but also was a real diehard and go-getter with respect to raising money for the pool.
Yeah.
And that we owe her a great debt of gratitude for all the hard work that she put in for the 2 years that she was on the council. Moving on, I would also like to recognize our new member, Robbie Wilson, who is smiling on the screen. And
hey, Robbie.
What we need to do is, because we do have a quorum, we will find it necessary to approve Mr. Wilson to join us electronically. The reason which fits the code is because of a temporary medical issue. And I need a sample motion to approve council member, or a motion to approve council member Wilson to participate electronically.
I'll make a motion for Robbie Wilson to participate electronically.
All right. And then, let's see, do we have to ask him to?
That would be due to a temporary medical condition.
Due to a temporary medical condition.
All right.
Second voice vote. Second voice vote.
All right. And Marjorie?
Yes.
Larry?
Yes.
Alana?
Yes.
I say yes. Beth?
Yes.
Welcome aboard. Now we'll have a roll call. Marjorie Austin.
Here.
Larry Tuning.
Here.
Alana Courtney.
Here.
I am here. Phil Goldsmith. Beth Justice.
Here.
And Robbie Wilson.
Here.
Oh.
He's quiet again.
There we go. Now you can hear me.
All right. Now, do I have a motion to adopt the agenda as presented?
Pledge of allegiance.
Pledge of allegiance.
Oh, pledge of allegiance. Yeah. Sorry.
I'm gonna go for the chair. Sorry. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now do I have a motion to?
I'll make a motion to accept the agenda as presented.
All right, second on that.
Second.
Any discussion? All right, Robbie Wilson.
Yes.
I'm putting you on the spot early, buddy. That's just.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm actually starting from that end. All right, I say yes. Alana Courtney.
Yes.
Larry Tunin.
Yes.
Marjorie Austin.
Yes.
All right. First item of business is accepting the calendar as presented. It's 2 meetings a month, the second and the fourth Thursdays, with the exception of the second Thursday in November and the second Thursday in December as the final 2 meetings because of conflicts with Thanksgiving and Christmas. They would be at 6 o'clock in this building.
Make a motion to approve the 2025 meeting schedule as presented.
Do I have a second on that?
Second.
All right.
Yep, all right. Make it
Okay. All right. Marjorie Austin.
Yes.
Larry Tuning.
Yes.
Alana Courtney. I say yes. Beth Justice.
Yes.
Robbie Wilson.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Next item is we're going to move on to our new clerk. Welcome.
So the next item is resolution 2025-002. And the reason why we had to amend the agenda and make it a resolution is because that I found that, when you originally adopted the code of ethics, you did it by resolution. So in order to make amendments to it, we also have to do it by resolution. But I also have, proposed for you a draft of bylaws and rules of procedure for town council. If anyone has any questions, you'll see also on that amended, the few amended sheets that I gave you. There were just a couple of really small changes, like I found out the vice mayor is not called the vice mayor, he's called the mayor pro tem. So I changed that. And just small things like that. And then I added to the conflict of interest section the fact that even though it's not required by state code, council has elected to complete the annual conflict of interest form that the Ethics Council of Virginia put out.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
The Ethics Council of Virginia, the statement of economic interest,
Mm-hmm,
it's not technically required
right.
for the council because of the size of the town. But council has elected to go ahead and complete those anyway for transparency.
And that you emailed that form to us.
When was that elected to be done?
I was just told that.
Because this is the first time I've ever seen it, since when you get.
Yeah, and we haven't done it in the past, but, when I saw that, I was, assuming that by accepting the resolution, we were accepting
Mhm.
that as a.
Yeah.
As a code.
Right.
So, and I guess in the discussion, we could,
That's a lot of personal information that's requested on that form.
is there, I haven't looked
Yeah,
at it.
there's a lot. I mean, I don't think it's necessary. I mean, a conflict of interest, if you got a conflict of interest, you should say so. You know, and put that on there, but a lot of that form, I find it to be very,
Intrusive.
yes, very interesting.
Okay. And, we could accept this with striking that, correct? Absolutely.
Yes, you don't have to make a motion
Okay.
or anything to make changes to this because it's right now it's nothing but a draft. So if you want to take something out, just let me know. Press it in.
Yeah,
And I'm
I mean, a conflict of interest form is one thing, but what it's asking for is, you know, all of this,
Like that, I've not looked at
all
that.
of this information here is what it's wanting to know what you owe and who you owe and.
Right, and that is the form
That,
put
you know,
out by the state.
And so by doing that, what we would do is say to accept this, what do you call it, the bylaws with the exception of the,
No, you, I think how I put it in the resolution was, once we get to that point, adopt the council bylaws and rules of procedure as set forth in the June meeting. So, you are setting it forth right now. As you go through.
okay. So the sample motion as presented would cover us. Okay.
Well, sample motion,
It
which
should
says
say,
as presented, or with the discussed amendments made by the consent of the council. So it would be the bylaws as presented with the exception of.
Okay. That's why I wanted to get it clear.
yeah.
Yeah. Would include with.
That's, I want to say something about this.
All right. There.
I would like to see the minutes for the remarks to the public to be increased
The time for
over
speaking.
3 minutes. I see over and over and over and over, every time somebody comes up to speak, they are cut off. You know
I
what?
don't know that we ever said that. I think it was just
We ever
done.
said what?
I don't think we ever set, as a council, I don't think we ever set a time limit. I think it was just done.
Okay, well.
At
that's
one
not the
meeting, all of a
point.
sudden,
Point
you've
is
got
that-
3 minutes.
Yeah.
What it
I think
seemed like
that-
happened.
I think that,
Go
I
ahead.
think they should have longer.
I agree.
All right. So what do we want to set a time limit? Right.
I don't know that we so much should set a time limit, but we also don't want them just to go on and on and on.
Right.
and on
Correct.
either, you know.
I think we got to have a limit. That's why
maybe 5 minutes instead of 3,
That's what I
because
was
3
thinking.
Can we
Three.
specify the people who have?
yeah.
Well, council always has the option also if somebody's speaking and needs more time and they get to their limit, whether it be 3 or 5 minutes or whatever, you all can approve them
Well, we could do that, yeah.
to continue speaking. But if you want it to
So-
be 5 minutes, we can change it to 5 minutes.
It drives me crazy when somebody's got their thoughts and then all of a sudden.
They're told 3
You got
times up,
30 seconds
or
and
times
then
up.
they get to their train of thought.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
All right.
let's do 5
We don't
minutes.
have that.
And you
No,
want
we
that
don't.
For both public comment and public hearing.
Yes.
Okay. Yep.
Thank you. Thank you, Alana, that was
Oh, you're
a
welcome.
good call.
Thank you.
a good call.
And I agree with Marjorie on this. If you look at them, that thing was.
oh, you printed it out,
Well, I asked for my packet
oh,
to
to have
be
it.
printed, so
It's,
it was there, and it's just,
I've never signed it.
I was at Coin in Williamsburg for 17 years, and I had to sign conflict of interest, and it was nowhere near that, so I
Okay.
had a whole lot of.
The Board of Zoning Appeals and Planning Commission members, and Mr. Costin have to fill out conflict of interest forms every year as well, but not that detailed. They do the real estate disclosure.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fill that out.
Yeah. And that's fine.
We'll just
Yeah.
take that out.
I get it though. I get what
Yeah,
you're
no, I think, yeah,
All right,
so far, I don't think anybody's had a problem with conflict of interest.
so
If we think so, we call each other on it at the moment, so.
any other issues that people want to have?
No,
No, good job. Good
yeah,
job.
it was a great job. Yeah, thank you.
And the deadline for, getting items in and when you get the agenda, that's all good. You, the way it's written.
Okay,
Yeah, it will be nice to have it a few days ahead of time so that if there's any questions or what have you, we can work it through it. Yeah.
And then, for the code of ethics, which is being made kind of like an appendix to this, you can see all the changes that were made were, very minimal.
Right.
all right, so,
And I did most of that. Those were basically, you have one item where it talked about council and staff, and another item, council and public, and another one, public, and I just tried to make it consistent that it was always council, staff, and the public. That was the biggest change.
okay. Any other discussion on that?
No.
Probably one other big change, probably big to you all, is you do not have to second a motion to adjourn.
Good.
Oh,
So I can just say, motion to adjourn and I'm out of here.
You
Can we
still have
just
to
do
take a
Can we
voice.
just do a voice
Yeah,
vote
you
and say
get to
aye?
all four.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
Actually, that is actually
Yeah.
procedures as well
Yeah.
under voting.
Yeah, I read that too.
That-
You would only do a voice call vote on certain items.
okay,
And then I would do it for you because I have it kind of, I have a little sheet printed out where I've got you in alphabetical order and then you rotate every time. And I was always told that the reason why people like to do, or boards and commissions and councils like to do a rotating vote is to avoid the appearance of collusion. You know, like, I'm gonna wait and see how she votes and then this, because it'll rotate every time.
Oh,
oh,
And that is in the bylaws under, method of,
yeah, I read that, but I was like, oh,
and then that way you don't have to remember how you called it last time. Because I was,
so you're gonna ask for the vote,
if it's something that needs a voice call, a roll call vote.
okay,
And then like the ayes and nays, you can, you know, all four, all in. You can continue to call it if you like.
okay. All right, so,
I guess we're getting schooled here, y'all.
oh, yeah, exactly, welcome aboard.
Yeah. I just need to be able to follow the agenda, and I'm not able to follow this agenda for some reason tonight.
Well,
I like that.
I'm the one that skipped the pledge right out of the chute.
I know, but I told you. So, yeah, I follow the agenda, so I've got everything going on here, so I don't know where I'm at, but, okay.
Right, and Ms. Austin didn't mention too that, in the past, the board had received a binder with different information in it, like the town code
Yeah, that was-
and those kind of things. So I'm gonna make those up for you all, and it'll have these bylaws in there. It'll have, the town code in there, and then if you want a section for your agenda, I can just start printing them out, if that's what you prefer to do. I'm also gonna try and put it up on the screen, just to kind of.
Yeah, that's good. That'll help
Okay.
So people sitting in the audience, if they don't have a full one, they can at least,
see what's
not
there.
at the moment, because I forgot the mouse, so I can't turn it. And so we would just need a motion to approve resolution 2025-02.
With the exception of. So I just-
So moved.
all right,
All right, so you're approving with the exception of the conflict of interest disclosure being eliminated and expanding the speaking time from 3 minutes to 5.
Yes.
correct. All right, do I have a second on that?
Second.
Is that an all aye, or is that all
Aye.
in favor?
I,
All right,
Aye.
all right. Next item. Wow, we're just flying.
I know, it's just like, what the world?
Appointment to boards and committees. So really, we didn't have much turnover. Sandy Sturgill left, Robbie Wilson is on. And so,
The only thing that really changed was Robbie, right? He went on
Robbie
to
is
finance.
going on to finance.
Yeah,
Exactly, and he does have a business background, having a business of his own. So I think that's a good place to put him.
Yep.
One of the things that, and I think it needs to be explored, but this town depends on volunteers, as we know, and there's a lot of interaction with the UBA and with Second Saturdays and with the Christmas parade and the 4th of July stuff. And so that the council can be apprised of what things are going, what I think would be useful would be to have Marjorie and Beth, because they work on Second Saturdays, along with Ted and Michelle, look into creating a community events committee that helps consolidate those things so that everybody isn't, they're working as independent things, but it's always a little bit disjointed. They seem to run okay by themselves on some levels, but council isn't always apprised of what is happening.
yeah, we could do that.
And so it's not, I think we would need,
I mean, I think Michelle did an excellent job with the Christmas committee.
oh, absolutely.
I mean, that ran like a well-oiled machine. So I don't see why it would be any kind of problem.
Right, that's what I'm thinking.
We could do this.
And on the positions and committees, you and Beth were sit out there as Second Saturdays, but that would be a subset of that.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay?
Yeah.
So we need I guess, a motion to,
So in this committee, is that a committee you were talking about?
yeah, creating a committee for that.
So one of my top 5 things was to promote the town. We need to get stuff out in the town. So is that part of that committee too? Is to promote our activities
I guess it could be.
and get in touch
As
with
an exploratory committee.
to get,
Yes. Yeah, it could be.
okay.
Yeah.
Do you have anything that you'd like to add, Michelle, that you think would be, since you're part of this committee, that you want to add?
No,
No.
I just think the way that Christmas is done, we pull in all the organizations.
Mhm.
So when we met here time after time, it was the UBA, it was the fire
Yes.
department, it was some of the local
Right,
businesses.
Beth and I.
So everybody knew what everybody was doing.
Mhm.
So with this committee, it's going to need to be the same thing. You're gonna need to pull in the key players in some of these
Right.
events that happen all the time.
Christmas, I think still, we should, well, it's our committee, we can figure it out later, but I still think it still revolves around with what you had going on
But
together.
that's the only way to
Yes.
everybody be on the same page.
Yes, okay.
Right.
All right,
All right, and this is it may not be functional, but I just see it as all these things that are sort of separate, and we're supposed to know in this group what's going on, and
That's why I make a report, that's why I say something every meeting. Second Saturday's coming, second Saturday's done.
Yeah.
Second Saturday, whatever,
Okay.
so
so
we can do that as well. We'll make reports and.
do I have a motion to create the, how do I want to?
Exploratory Events Committee,
Yeah,
so moved.
I'll go along with the motion, I'm all for it, but I think you appoint committee, don't you?
well, it's
No,
already
we-
started
we-
at
we
this point,
all
because
appoint.
it's Beth, Michelle, Ted, and Marjorie.
I'll be glad to vote for it, but I just think if you appoint it,
Yeah.
I think the mayor has a
Right,
ability to do that.
so are we good with that?
Good?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay,
I mean, Ted, am I right? Or am I wrong?
I think you're correct. It's just the mayor appointing has a lot more oomph if the mayor has to express support of council,
Yeah, okay.
which I think I've heard the
Let's-
express.
let's
I think
vote
I've
on
heard
it.
the express
Let's
support
vote.
of council. Nobody's objecting.
right,
No, nobody's.
so that's another, we can just do a voice vote?
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Any opposed?
Did you oppose, Michelle?
No, I was looking at Billy. I heard your eye. All right, and Robbie, I forget to look up there. Were you shaking your head yes?
Yes.
Okay. I apologize. I should be looking over there and you're a forgotten man on the screen, and I apologize. All right. Next item. We have, we still have to, we have to, was that motion to accept all the board?
I understood it to be just on the
That's what I understood.
committee.
So now I need if no one has a problem with any of the committee assignments, we still need somebody for planning commission, but we have enough people to have a quorum. And so we have a resolution before you that is for let me get to that.
I see the resolution, but we've double checked with these people and
Yes.
Yes.
they're, okay.
So it is a resolution to accept the boards, committees, and commissions as presented.
So moved.
Do I have a second on that?
Second.
Voice vote or all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
I didn't even ask Robbie. Robbie, you're good with being on the finance
Yeah.
committee?
I'm good.
All right. We have minutes from June 27 and December 12. Should I take them individually?
Either way.
Does anybody have a problem with either of them?
No, but I do have a question as to why we only have one set of minutes out of 6 months after the time span has passed.
We've received another set, but we received it after the agenda was put together, so we have to compare those over the set.
I'm sorry.
We received another set of minutes.
Okay.
And so they came in after the agenda was out, so we went ahead and I made a decision to push it to February.
Okay, so we've received 2 out of 6.
Yeah.
Can that be fixed to where maybe Christine takes over getting that to us so that we have that taken care of quicker?
We can work something out, yeah.
Because this is just way too much time has passed now for this to be completed.
And I don't have a problem with that. But for those that are presented,
Yes, I'll make the motion to accept as presented.
second,
Second.
all in favor?
All right.
Aye.
And
Okay.
Christine, you did a great job on the minutes for December. It's very informative. Thank you so much. It's very clear, very understanding.
All right. Now, report.
Mayor, members of council, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Happy New Year.
New Year.
So given the holidays occurring midweek throughout December, it was kind of a disruptive activity schedule. So it wasn't a great deal of activity, but I think there was some significant activity. The mayor and I met with Signature Pools to review last year's activity with an eye towards improvements for next year that would entice membership. And a finance committee meeting for this topic and starting the fiscal year budget is requested. So I had mentioned this earlier in a weekly summary. It was asked to expand on that meeting a little bit. So what we considered, and again, this is an eye towards cutting some costs or creating some more revenue, but at the same time, enhancing the use of the pool. So one of the things that we came up with was to expand the hours, but shifting the hours with a later start and a later close. Okay.
Yeah.
So the folks coming in off work have some more time into the pool. We also discussed opening on Memorial Day weekend, including that Monday, and then closing until school lets out, Middlesex County Schools. Now, this is fairly standard with a lot of these contracts, with the exception of if there's a weekend that falls in there, we would open up for the weekend. Okay, but we're trying to cut the hours where you've got 2, sometimes 3 lifeguards sitting there, you got 3 people in the pool. Okay,
I'm confused on that date thing. Can you do that again? I'm sorry.
Sure. Memorial Day weekend,
Uh-huh.
we would open. So Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Then we close Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then we Friday, then we reopen Saturday, Sunday.
Okay. Okay.
And we keep that schedule until school lets out.
Okay.
And as soon as school lets out, it's 6 days a week. Typically, the Monday's the close day.
Okay.
The lifeguards that work the weekend, they get a day off.
And one of the places that was needless expense last year was the fact that kids were in school and we were paying for lifeguards
Right.
that we didn't need because nobody was coming to the pool.
Right.
But we did that because we thought, okay, the pool's new, people were excited about it. You didn't want to have this grand opening and then close it 3 days later.
Right.
You know?
Right. I think staying open later is going to help us too a lot.
Now that would go through when school. Now the reverse, the end of the season, we were talking about looking at doing a keeping it open the regular schedule, and then when school goes back, then we go back to that only on the weekends until
Right.
Labor Day weekend.
Right.
And we close out Labor Day Monday.
Yep.
We have I've done a reach out to the Y about the exercise program and trying to expand the exercise program. And there was some thought that maybe during the week, I'll say between Memorial Day and the next weekend, letting them have some exercise classes. So the pool would be used for 2-3 hours a day, but it wouldn't be the extensive use. We also looked at kind of recalculating how we would charge the Y for the time. But it's primarily cover the lifeguards.
And thought of hydrotherapy for like people who need physical therapy
Mhm.
using it as well.
What we're finding out talking with the Y is the limiting factor here is the schedule of the instructor.
Okay.
If they had more instructors, they might be able to do it. But right now, they're kind of limited on that.
I was just thinking about like physical therapy people, maybe call it, see if they want to use it.
Hartfield, yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Okay, I can reach out.
Carousel. Yeah.
Community Services Board, talk to those folks. They don't have any funding that they could cover anything like this. It would have to come out of the client's pocket. And I've also spoken with Bay Aging, and we've looked at a couple of different concepts that we have in and we also discussed the possibility. We have a meeting, which I'm having a council. I apologize, but we had a meeting set up this week, but have to cancel that and postpone that hopefully just the next week. And then we also discussed about perhaps seeing if some of the local businesses would like to advertise with banners around the pool.
Nice.
That might gin up some revenue for the pool. So those are the big items for discussion. I met with state and local interest regarding Main Street. That resulted in becoming current and reporting, as well as receiving a 6-month extension on grant-funded activities for the Main Street project. The kayak launch project is underway. The Eagle Scout candidate is now clear to begin that project, and he and I met on the 3rd of January.
Nice.
I've begun to assemble your top 5 concerns, and I can see some patterns coming forward. So I look forward to doing that work session. This will be a dedicated work session that basically set priorities. Well project is progressing, but will be delayed due to the supply chain issues involving some of the electrical upgrading portion of the project. Okay, after the last meeting, I put up some barricades down at Virginia Street, in the terminus of Virginia Street, put up some parking signs. Since then, the neighboring property has had an erosion issue, and they are concerned that what they do to fix their erosion may actually create problems for us. So we're trying to look at it. They're using the same contractor that we've used over at the marina, trying to get everybody together on site. I have a meeting scheduled for Monday with VDOT because some of the issues that they're having in condos and we're having on the site has to do with drainage in terms of not just surface drainage, but the underground drainage. If you go right to the edge of the water, you'll see where the outfall culverts are, and they're probably packed 3/4 of the way to see. So, and I'm assuming that they're labeled as VDOT culverts. The most significant activity has been the issuance of the notices concerning disconnection of water service due to delinquent accounts. Several issues have come forward, and these are being addressed as presented. As the notices have resulted in response. So we sent out 10 notices. We felt like we could handle 10 notices. Maribel and I thought we would have 10, 15 was the right number. We hit on 10. We're glad we didn't do 15. We've gotten some kind of interaction from 7 of the 10. So we've actually collected some money.
Right.
So,
And you started with the largest bills first, correct?
yeah, it depends on how you want to break apart or combine accounts.
Okay.
But we took it was like largest number or most outstanding in terms of time, and those kind of meshed up pretty close together. So that's kind of where we are with that. Be happy to take any questions you have at this time.
How much money and, have we collected, and maybe Michelle has that
No, I don't know if you have. We've only had one payment come in.
at one time?
Yeah.
There was, a customer that called today, and she made her payment online right to Hampton Roads. So what I told her she needed to do was send Maribel a copy of her confirmation of payment so that her water would not be disconnected. So she sent that to Maribel, and I did not know the amount.
Okay, so, I don't know what the amount was, I just,
Well, that was one of the,
It's like-
we had one walk in today too, if I remember. So I hear somebody walked in and paid today.
That was one of the issues, and she came in to pay for water that was hot.
so we were looking at a deficit, 25,000, something like that.
Probably closer to.
I thought it was 34,000.
Yeah, it's closer to 40.
40,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a chip away. This is
Yeah,
gonna be a
yeah,
chip
yeah,
away.
I get it. Also, just in regards to the Eagle Scout project, I think there's some funding, very handsome, Bill, there in regards to, helping with signage
Okay.
to start it. And I think that was, what is she in charge of? The
Main Street.
Main Street. And I think they've set aside some funds which might help the young man.
Okay. I'll let him know.
Well, you better check and make sure before you do that, okay?
Any other questions? Thank you.
Treasurer's report.
Good evening, everybody. I had emailed out and also attached to your packet is a copy of the November treasurer's report. There's no real changes, nothing that jumped out.
the one thing that was completed, gave up to $3,000 for Starbright for the new security at the museum.
Mhm.
That has been completed. And, when it was all said and done, it was $1,294.
Nice.
So now we have our monthly charges, they will bill monthly. But we, in the long run, will be saving a lot of money compared to the Johnson Controls. And the phone's not ringing off the hook.
I was gonna say, I haven't gotten a call in a while.
Thank you, Michelle.
When it was first installed, I received a few calls, a failure to test or something, but not everything was 100% hooked up.
Mhm.
She was doing it in stages. So we're all good there. The only big expense we had in November was the docks of the bay at $27,500. And then on a happy note, I'd like to let you know that I do earn my keep. And I pulled some numbers earlier today. So all our CDs matured on December the 5th. So I'm next month, but we're here now. So on the operating account, we pulled 400,000 of money that was just sitting there. That made us $18,330.
Nice.
On the general reserve, we had 95,500. We made 4,376.35. On the water fund reserve, when it started, was 115,433. On December the 15th, we made 5,289.80. So that's a total of $27,996.27. I also had switched the historic fund from BB&T Truist to CNF and put it in that special savings account, and the cigarette tax goes in there. And we made $1,836.74 on that account in the past year for a grand total of $29,833.
Good job, Michelle. Good job.
So I was very pleased.
Thank you.
I did reinvest the 3 CDs at 4% for 11 months with a one-time penalty free. So if something blows up and we need to take it, we will not pay a forfeiture.
Cool.
Nice job.
Thank
Yeah, great work. Thank you.
Any other questions? While I'm up here, Bill, I'll just send it, this is for the second comment.
Oh, okay. That's for the second, okay. Only best for last. All right, moving on to the town clerk. Won't back.
So each month I'll be giving you, an update on things that I'm working on, things that I've done, and things that I've got coming up. So right now, I'm working on going through all of the minutes so that I can pull out and make a list of all the resolutions, ordinances, and actions of council so that they'd be easier to find in the future. And going to also use like the bylaws that we did for the council and create some for the board committees and commissions, especially planning commission and ZBA. I've been updating the website on the calendar on the website, including more activities on there. I don't know if anybody looks at it, but hopefully if they do, they'll see a few more things happening, including county things like board meetings. I would like to try to start going to the board meetings just to keep up with what's going on with them, but thus far I haven't been. I've been trying to find all of the town files and getting those organized, especially the electronic ones. Investigating software for increased website and agenda management efficiency, and then working on agenda prep and coordinating with the town administrator. My future project that I want to work on is to meet the Middlesex County Administration, to talk to them, just to meet them and possibly get a little more collaboration going on between the town and the county. So Ted and I are meeting, Mr. Coxon and I are meeting with them on January 15th. I'm working on, well, I will be working on developing a records management policy and procedure, which we are required to have by law. And then as part of that is, converting paper records to electronic. And also investigating any hardware and software upgrade needs that, the town may have with Franktronic. And Daniel with Franktronic mentioned that the server that we currently have is kind of reached the end of its life. And so he was gonna kind of pull together some information for us to look at that and see how much that might be. And then the last thing on there is I am going to be attending the International Institute of Municipal Clerks Region 2 Conference from January 21st to 24th. But I will be back for the council work session. If anybody has any.
In the middle of the program?
It's in Henrico, so it's still
Oh, okay.
not too far.
Okay,
Good job. Thank you.
Thank you.
all right. There was no one for public comment. One, is that correct? Right. All right, Mr. Costa.
Thank you. This is an item of asking for authorization to proceed to public hearing for amendment to the current budget. The town received an allocation of approximately 400, or exactly, to be truthful, exactly, $475,182 in state and local fiscal recovery funds as a subrecipient of the Commonwealth of Virginia under the American Rescue Fund. This is the ARPA money. As recently as March 27, staff took action to report to the state and federal tracking authorities the following: that $237,591 in these funds was used for construction of the community swimming pool. And this same amount would be used for the purchase of this building, which obviously is serving as town hall. The amount realized in net proceeds from the sale of the old town hall, approximately $234,200, will also be used for the purchase. I think that's been understood for months and months and months. Okay. So ARPA funds, sale of the property, financing the rest. Okay. You all went through the process to set up the obligation for the funds to payment. It's now necessary to formally appropriate those funds and the funds for the sale of the old town hall for the purpose of acquisition of property. Now, that's not necessary that we be done for the swimming pool, because that money's been spent. Okay, this is obligating money that's still sitting in the pot. It's a use it or lose it situation. Right. Now, we feel like that we have made that commitment to the tracking authorities. Nobody's ever come back to us yet, but our financial advisors have all said you need to make a formal action on this to lock it in.
Right.
So that's why we need to go to a public hearing, because we're amending the budget, and because it's over 1% of the total budget, we have to go to public hearing. Okay. So that's kind of all the legality. So the fiscal impact on us right now, just for the public hearing, would be obviously just the cost of advertising with the paper. The staff recommendation is that you proceed. You do need council action, and you have a sample motion. Now, the amended sample motion includes the total of the ARPA money in the sale proceeds money. So the total amount would be $471,791. Be happy to take any questions.
Thank you for catching.
Many eyes.
Yeah.
Many eyes.
It's a big deal.
Okay, so you need the motion. I move to authorize the holding of a public hearing at the February 13th, 2025 council meeting for the purpose of amending the town of Urbanna budget for the fiscal 2025 to reflect an allocation of $237,000.
I'm sorry, that's what the amended pages.
Oh, is that the amended one?
It'll be $471,791. There you go.
471.
471,791.
791. Okay. Reflect an allocation of $471,791 in ARPA funds towards acquisition or improvement of permanent town office space and direct town staff to properly advertise and make arrangements for this public hearing.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Is that a voice? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you. The saving grace here was the fact that Mr. Cobb and Michelle kept that report in there. That was our saving grace.
Fantastic.
It put the hash, through the lock. This is just closing it and spinning the dot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ted,
Yes, sir.
when we have, or Chris, when we have these motions like we're doing there, doesn't have to say anybody opposed, even though it might sound like everybody is for it.
And I did say that in some of the other ones. This one, I heard everybody say yes, so.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, that's fine. I just hope I can get
Yeah.
in trouble.
I've always heard that if when the chair can't distinguish from the voices.
That's when he
it's like,
does.
that's when you might want to
That's
do a
fine.
roll call. Yeah. Thank you.
And I have schooled myself to look up at Robbie to make sure that I see a thumb going up.
Don't miss working via Zoom at all.
All right. Next item is the designation of town clerk as FOIA officer.
2.2-3704-2A of the Code of Virginia requires that all local public bodies, subject to the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, which we are, designate and publicly identify one or more FOIA officers. So if council were to make a motion just to say to designate the town clerk, that would cover you for no matter who the town clerk is.
I make the motion to appoint the town clerk as FOIA officer.
I'll
Any-
second.
Okay. Any discussion? All right. Voice vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Robbie, see what thumbs up. So if you left tomorrow, whoever came in the next, we wouldn't have to do this again, right? It's done.
Yeah.
Okay. Not that you're leaving
All
tomorrow.
right. Having heard everyone say aye, we'll move on. All right. I guess we're on to public comment 2. Lieutenant Davino, 350 Howard Street.
Can you get up?
You need the big belly.
I can get up. I should get up.
Gonna smack you.
There you go.
Okay. It's just that this wrist,
She's babying her wrist a little bit, yeah.
Told me not to do that.
Yes, she did.
Christy Antonino, 350 Howard Street. Okay, everybody has seen the manholes. Okay, they're horrible. When they did the paving, that was their responsibility. Okay, let me start over. Manholes lids after paving are somewhere, in some places, 1.5 to 2 inches below road surface. John and I have already checked this out when we're walking. That level is hard on motorists, cyclists, and walkers and runners. Not to mention, when it snows or something, somebody fall in one of those holes and really get hurt. I recognize that the wastewater collection system is owned by Hampton Roads Sanitary District, and the roads are maintained by VDOT. So the question is, who takes care of that? Well, a simple solution is to place the manhole risers in the lid of the manholes, like many communities who maintain their systems do. Now, you might want to contact, the council might want to contact Hampton Roads to see what their plan is. I guarantee you they're going to tell you, go right ahead and take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
Many communities end up doing this on their own because it's the quickest and fastest way to do it. And believe me, if you get out and walk our streets right now before this next snow, you got to learn on Rappahannock. There's 3 of them, and they're biggies.
Mm-hmm.
You just weave, and I think it's going to cause accidents.
not to mention danger in walking. So whatever you all decide you're gonna do, you can contact Mr. Costin, can contact Hampton Roads, that's who should be responsible for it.
Right, it is wastewater.
Yeah, and that's another point. The way that it's so sunken down now where the manhole is, wastewater is going into our sewage system, big time. Which, you know, if it was raised up a little bit, it wouldn't be so bad.
Right.
Can I add something? I didn't stand up on the
You still
pool.
got your
Yeah,
5
you got
minutes?
your 5 minutes.
Oh, okay, on the pool. I handed Mr. Costin last fall. I did some work with Ward Hamilton for Tappan Pools.
Right.
On a slide. Please, don't, can we try to get a slide in this year? We've got the infrastructure all in, correct? The water and the extra,
Yes, and,
May I, Mr. Mayor?
yes,
We did discuss with signature, we did discuss it because we're thinking that it might help in aerating the pool and keeping the pool cooler. So it's been discussed.
good.
Yeah.
I gave you a suggestion.
Right.
Okay. That company is one that Ward says pretty easy to work with too. Okay. I think it'll also increase our
well,
attendance.
it gives something for the kids.
For the
Yeah.
kids to do, to
Yeah.
just jump off.
Yeah.
Thank you, Christy.
Welcome aboard, Robbie.
Thanks. Sorry I missed tonight.
Oh, you're here.
Nope, no more of this. That's it.
Oh, try not
One
to
and
get
up.
sick again.
Any other, any other comments by council on that? Well, it's something that we're working on just for those reasons.
I'm not clear on what Ms. Pennsylvania was talking about, how you raise them up.
There's spaces, there's
Oh, they're
lifters,
big.
Yeah, they,
they're a metal thing that will raise that
and
manhole.
you put the top on it.
Are they very expensive?
I don't know, but a lot of communities end up having to do it because you're not gonna get,
VDOT probably won't pay for it either.
oh, VDOT won't, and I don't think Hampton Roads will.
It's just so weird to me that they would create the problem and not
Oh, yeah,
be responsible for it, but.
Put it into the plans, you know, when they do
Exactly.
the design work, knowing that they're going to be
Yeah,
raising another layer of material. Why they didn't do it in their preliminary engineering to say, okay, we have to put a riser in all these locations.
Yeah.
And maybe in your conversations with Lee McKnight, he can at least give us a source of if you're getting rebuffed by HRC.
yeah.
Possibly a price on how you put these things going. Not very expensive. We could do it.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm sure they're gonna be.
If they're steel, they're going to be
It's expensive.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we ought to look at,
Yeah.
I agree.
I know, thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah,
I've
and-
driven
and-
over a
and
couple of
it-
them,
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
like,
I guess
It's
I was
just
still,
my car.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
blindly thinking, oh, they're gonna come back and fix that.
mm-mm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would say.
John has been in many communities, and it's the community that ends up having to do it.
All right.
that's wrong.
Thank you, Christy.
Yeah, I can imagine y'all hitting with the car, because when I hit it with my Jeep, it's even worse. It's hard tire.
Okay.
I'm just
Any other announcements by anybody?
I did forget one thing.
All right.
Delinquent real estate taxes were mailed yesterday. And next week, the personal property delinquencies will go out.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
You
All right.
told us last week how we did, but we did pretty well, didn't we? 9%, 80%, 89%.
We have 4 that are severely delinquent.
Oh, okay.
And then the rest, they'll eventually trickle in.
Motion
All right.
to
Motion to
adjourn?
adjourn? All right. All in favor?
Aye.